Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to A Better World with Adrienne. I am so excited to be dropping in with you from Greece. I continue to be amazed at how much magic, how much miracles, how much abundance, how much joy and connection and true synergy and creation that is available right now when you answer your divine assignment, when you go where you are called to go, and when you truly live as the main character of your story. I have never believed in that more. I have never experienced it more. And yeah, I'm just really excited and grateful to be sharing these codes with you on A Better World with Adrienne. So before we get into today's topic, Mount Shasta New Earth Activation Retreat is happening in September. If you would like to join us, spaces are filling up. Go to the link in the show notes. This is a 4-day unicorn land activation on sacred land with other spiritual elite high performers who are self-actualizing in this lifetime, in divine timing. It's going to be absolutely incredible. I'm going to be bringing all the codes from my travels. The group coming together is stunning. If you'd like to be a part of it, go apply through the link in the show notes and I will be in touch. Other things going on, I have one space open for premium one-on-one mentorship. This is where you and I ride together long term. We can do in-person one-on-one work anywhere on the globe. It's a custom built package for you. This is for the high performer. This is for you if you want luxury, daily, custom, premium support, mentorship, personal astrology, personal breathwork, nervous system reset, personal high performance coaching, literally all the things. If this is you, if you're seeking your next premium investment to collapse time and live your potential right now in wealth, in impact, in your divine assignment, in your spiritual mastery and magic, in love, all for New Earth, this is for you. There's one spot available. The link is in the show notes. Okay, today's episode is all about the spiritual Olympics and how to live your miracle. And it's so amazing how life is just a class when you decide that it's a class and you let life teach you every single day, all day. Like, I keep ripping open into a new wattage of what it means to trust life, what it means to say yes to life. And because I do that again and again and again, and because I go first, life keeps blowing my mind. Life keeps hugging me. Life keeps blasting magic my way. And I experience it everywhere I go, everywhere I go. So I'm excited. I'm excited to share these codes with you, and everything I share is tools, insights, downloads for you to do this in your life too. Okay. If I can do it, so can you. I am a living, breathing activation. Okay. People see me one of two ways. People experience me one of two ways based on the way they engage with life. They either experience me as a permission slip, as like, wow, she's doing it. That's proof. That's proof that I can do it too, that I can be that free, that I can be that joyful, that I can be that happy, that I can be that abundant, that I can be my version of that tapped into the light, right? And then there's other people that experience me as an affront. Because I am a living, breathing affront to all of the self-imposed cages that people live in when you are operating under the programming of the Matrix. So I invite you to experience this podcast as a permission slip. Either way, it's an activation point. Are you going to be activated into an upward spiral, or are you going to be activated in such a way that you decide that is a downward spiral and like you're just going to be spiraling down into darkness? Definitely choose the first one, the permission slip, rather than the affront. Now, I am a living, breathing affront to lies that keep people caged and small. So I'm happy to be that affront, and it's dressed in a permission slip That is unconditional believing and knowing in your power to create a new reality aligned with your soul in any moment, separated from any external circumstance. So that's today's magic on the altar. I'm in major travel altar mode. I do buy flowers wherever I go though, because they're so beautiful. I have white roses on the altar. This specific white rose I actually bought in Paris. I took it on the plane with me. I joked with the people, the flight attendants. I was like, yeah, can't you tell I travel light? I'm bringing a whole bouquet of flowers. So it's just purifying the space, bringing in the white divine light. Like most things in Greece are white. Like it's difficult for me to say how to transpose and share how much at home I feel here. And so like literally all the buildings are white, most of the clothes are white. If you know me at all, my shaman name is White Star. My signature color is white. Almost every single article of clothing I own is white. It's because I'm connected to a group of angelic beings, and actually it's like an albino zoo group of spirit guides. Like all my spirit guides are white. Like I have a tiger, but she's white. I have a horse, the horse is white. I have a mermaid, the mermaid's white. So it's a whole thing. And I feel very, very, very at home here. So the energy of home, the energy of spirit guides, the energy of white is here, and the energy of you've got to get on the correct land. You've got to shake shit up. You've got to do things differently. Somebody said to me the other day, somebody I met in Paris at the Kabbalah event with my teacher, David, um, which the amount of souls that I met there that I knew I was destined to meet was insane. At all of the other ones, I've met like 2 or 3. This one, it was like 10 people. I was like, oh my goodness gracious. They were like, are you still in Paris? And I was like, no, I'm in Greece now. And they're like, you are definitely unexpected. And I'm like, yeah, if you want life to surprise you, you got to surprise life. It's not the other way around. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but this is coming through really strong. Stop waiting for shit to happen and you be the thing that happens. Life doesn't happen to you, you happen to life. Okay? So this is the altar. We got a lot of white energy. We got the codes of Greece. It's literally so hot. Thank goodness gracious for the C and for AC. For the C and for AC. Can I get a hell yeah? The final piece on the altar is how we connect ourselves through time and space. There are 3 deep breaths. No matter if you're listening to this, drinking a cup of tea, walking, working out, on your way somewhere, in transit, maybe you're just sitting there, maybe you're staring at a beautiful view. Be here now. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through your nose. This time, hold at the top and feel the divine white light coming from Greece into your body. It is hot, it is potent, it is purifying your aura. Hold at the top, feel your crown open, feel your third eye open. Exhale out the mouth. The altar has been set, our energy is connected. Let's dive into the transmission. Today's all about entering the spiritual Olympics and living your miracle. Live your miracle. Okay. So I've been saying to my teacher and my teachers and my mentor recently, I'm like, this is the spiritual Olympics. This is the spiritual Olympics. I'm like, this is what I've been training for my whole life. 2020 was just the warm up. And when I was saying that in 2020, first of all, I didn't say it to many people because you got to read the room and you've got to most people literally and physically and mentally cannot handle or comprehend a lot of the things that we are required to do and the ways that I live life and embody and think and I learned some of the mechanics behind it in Kabbalah. It's like if somebody doesn't have the capacity to hold something, it's literally harmful to share it with them, right? So I didn't share this with many people in 2020, but 2020 was the warm up. 2020 was the cute opening act for a whole new era of astrology, of energy, of unlocking on our globe, of unlocking the human race back to love, peace, bliss, harmony, and alignment with earth and alignment with the stars. This is new earth, right? We're bringing the ancient codes back into the forefront. 2020 was cute and cuddly and fluffy compared to 2025. Don't even get me started on 2027, okay? I keep saying to my mentors, I'm like, this is the spiritual Olympics. This is what I've been training for my whole life. And people that did not train for this moment are really having a hard time. People that did train for this moment are getting tested like a mofo. Raise your hand if you're getting tested. Hello. Okay. It's a time of deep intensity where you've got to have way more than intentions. You've got to have way more than healing. You've got to have way more than, oh, I'm going to look at my limiting beliefs. You've got to have a Jedi energetic skill set to be able to just like slay demons and slay dragons and slay all of these energy. It's spiritual warfare, it's energetic warfare. Like literally, there's so much going on in the unseen realms right now that's influencing everybody on the planet. It's happening in the astrology. I mean, Uranus just entered Gemini. We've had a lot of gnarly squares and all of this in July. Go back and listen to my Uranus and Gemini episode, or listen to the episode Summer 2025 Astrology, Accelerated Abundance and Revolution. I recorded that before, you know, all like the accelerated violence happened. It's obvious, it was obvious and continues to be obvious in the astrology. So it's not about bypassing pain that's happening. It is about like, okay, these are the ancient codes, and like the fact that I knew that in advance, that's an advantage. That's a strategy, okay? People who downplay astrology are not tapped into the ancient codes. People who aren't using astrology are nowhere near the potential, are nowhere tapped into the divine timing of creator. Like there's a quote that says millionaires don't have astrologers, billionaires do. And I've never felt the truth of that more. In fact, a lot of my clients, like we're focusing on, okay, how do we, like I can think of at least 3 key premium clients of mine that are like, okay, how am I going to a billion? Like a million, it's like, you know how people say 10K is the new 1K? Well, a billion's the new million, right? It's like everything's just dilating and expanding at such a rapid clip. But like, you've gotta have way more than this is about mastery. This is about excellence. This is about precision. And so you've got to be able to access this to live your miracle. What's a miracle? It's something unlikely. It's something magical. It's something, it's an extraordinary, welcome event. And it's not explainable by logic. It's not logic. It's divine. It's magic, okay? It's exceptional. It's like, wow, there's literally like I cannot explain this other than it's a miracle. It's magic, right? And so if you play in these realms and you create in these realms, you know what I'm talking about. But this living now, right now, people are either getting swallowed into darkness or you're living a miraculous life. There's really no in between, right? You're either being extremely masterful and being an energetic Jedi, and you're in the games, the spiritual Olympics, and you're living your miracle, or you're getting swallowed up into chaos, darkness, mediocrity, shoved off your path through. It's not anything outside that's causing it. Anybody can thrive right now if you have mastery. Most people don't. Most people have been living in mediocrity, going through the motions, and then they're going to suffer. Okay. And I'm not saying this to be harsh. I'm saying this because first things first, I'm the realist. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell you how it is. Why? Because I respect you. and your ability to powerfully create no matter what. And so when we call a spade, then we can make changes. When we pretend a spade is not a spade, well, then we're living in Delulu land, and nothing positive happens when you're not willing to accept when you're arguing with reality, right? So, and all of this, by the way, is not saying like, oh, there aren't things happening on earth that are dark. No, there are. It's what are you feeding, and what are you tapping into, and what are you choosing to create? It's not, oh, there aren't dark things happening on earth. There are a lot of dark things happening on earth right now. That's why I keep calling it the spiritual Olympics. So it's so funny because I said that to my teacher, and then literally I got to Athens. I didn't even put it together like, oh, this is where the Olympics were. They had the first Olympics. I just came here because I got called to Greece, and I'm meant to be here, and I'm gonna be here for a while. I'm so excited. I walked by the Olympic Stadium yesterday, and I was just like, I heard the theme song in my head. I'm like, da 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 da. I played that professionally. I got paid to play that song so many times when I was playing in orchestras. It actually is kind of difficult, that piece. It was so powerful to just stand there, look at the stadium, and be in this moment in time for New Earth and be like, wow, this is the spiritual Olympics. And then literally like 5 hours after I had a conversation about that with my teacher, I literally walk by the founding place of the Olympic Games, and I'm like, let's go for New Earth. So I have a bulleted list. I'm going to do some just straight download sharing on, okay, how can you enter the spiritual Olympics and live your miracle? These are key ideas, insights, things to take forward on your path to help you win. Okay, first things first, be the light. Every single moment of every single day, you have a free will choice. Are you going to feed darkness, or are you going to be the light? Okay. I've had so many people come up to me on the street. You are so beautiful. Your smile just glows. You just make me so happy. Like, like strangers coming up to me all day, every day, in all these different places I'm going. It doesn't matter if I'm walking down the street, if I'm in the airport, if I'm in a cafe. Like, why? Because I decided a long time ago, I'm going to be the light. I've done this every single place I've ever lived. In Chicago, it was like, yeah, I walk down the street and I'm singing and I'm dancing, and most people have a scowl on their face, and I'm just happy because I'm going to be the light, and I'm going to be the person that, wow, I can change the trajectory of someone's day. Okay? This is a deep part of my purpose on this planet. You've got to embody that too, especially right now. If you want to enter the spiritual Olympics, you've got to enter with a white jersey for the light, for team light. Okay? And what does an Olympian do? Olympians are not mediocre. Olympians are not complacent. Olympians are precise, intense, extreme, and positive, and they're elite. What does elite mean? It means you're better than other people. And I'm not talking about like, oh, like I'm talking about skill set, right? I'm not saying that someone's soul is better than someone else's soul. That's not what I'm saying. Um, that conversation, that level of conversation is not even relevant because it skips the whole point, right? Obviously, we're all worthy. Obviously, we're all cut from source. I'm talking about skill sets. I'm talking about mastery. There's a reason why people compete to get into the Olympics. Most people are not good enough to be in the Olympics. That's just how it is with skill sets, with mastery of a craft, of an art form, of a game, of a skill set. Okay? Olympians are better than most people. They're in the top 0.1100001%. Okay? You've got to be that for the light to live your miracle right now. Like things that people used to achieve and be successful with are not working anymore because they're not good enough for this energy. They're not extreme enough. They're not elite enough. They aren't mastered enough. They aren't embodied enough. It's very, very important. So you've got to be the light. Every single moment, you're either choosing light or dark, light or dark, light or dark. Okay? You've got to be, not only choose the light, be the light. What would the light do? What would God do? Okay? I had a conversation with a taxi driver. They were like, "I love techno," and I asked them to turn it off. I was like, "I just got off a long flight. I'm not listening to techno. I paid you for this ride." I mean, I didn't say that, but I said, "Please, can we have no music?" And this person was very like fired up about techno, and um it was obvious they were like in a party era. And I was like, "Why is this, it's interesting why this is in my experience right now." And I ended up saying they're like, "Oh, you got to come party in Athens, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "No, I'm here for God." And I was like, "God is the party." And they were like, they looked at me and they were like, "What kind of drug is that?" And I said, "Exactly. It is a drug. It's a spiritual drug. It's a high that you never come down from because it's God." People are like, one of my deepest intentions during this time and for my purpose path, and you might resonate with this too, is like, I want people to see the light of Creator through the way I live, through the way I walk, through the way I smile, through the way I breathe. This is the most important first step. Be the light if you're going to be in the spiritual Olympics and live your miracle. That's how you know you won the Olympics, by the way. You're living your miracle. Okay? Next idea. You either trained for this or you didn't. So people that have been training energetically, spiritually, with your mindset, with your nervous system, studying the astrology, having mentors, like all of this high performance, if you've been doing this for years up to this point, you are set up for success. And if you want more on this, go to my episode called New Earth are New Earth is spiritual endurance athletes, or something about spiritual endurance. Yeah, spiritual endurance. Like, you are an endurance athlete. You really are. And athletes train. Athletes don't just show up to the game and expect to win. They practice, 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 right? This is something that's got to be shifted with the light. So either you train for this moment and you're still getting deeply challenged right now, because obviously the Olympics are hard. It's nobody walks into the Olympics and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is going to be a piece of cake." No. I mean, you train for it so you can go into autopilot mode. This is why my clients create insane results, by the way, because I'm a high performance coach first and foremost. That's where my deepest, longest expertise is in this lifetime. Obviously, I have shamanic codes from many lifetimes. I'm masterful in that, but it's the combination of both. Shamanism on its own does not do anything. High performance on its own does not do anything. You've got to combine both spirit, strategy, skill, and soul. Okay? So you either trained for this or you didn't. Either way, you've got to double down in your training. I'm training even harder spiritually. I'm doing more breath work. I'm doing more meditations. I'm doing more sessions with my healer, with my mentor, with my coaches. You've got to be so keyed in because there's so much trying to take everybody off their path right now. Very simply, you cannot allow that bullshit to touch your mind, your body, your heart, your soul. Capiche? Capiche. Okay, you either trained for this or you didn't. Either way, you got to double down. If you did, great job. Keep going, do better. If you didn't, buckle up. You've got to catch up, man. Okay, third idea. I went to the Socrates prison yesterday. I got guided there. I didn't plan on going there. And this is what I learned. Everything you're required to do this lifetime to achieve your soul's destiny and to achieve your soul potential requires you to do the very things that you've been burned for in past lives, the very things you've been imprisoned for in past lives, okay? One of the reasons I had such an intense experience in Paris is because I realized how many times I've gotten murdered there in past lives. I was like, why am I crying? I'm so happy. And then I would have these huge waves of grief and sadness. And then I started having visions of like, oh, you've been murdered in the city like many, many, many times for being openly powerful and magical. And so when I was at the Socrates prison, I'm like, Socrates was a thought leader. He was an Aquarian baller of his time. He was like, yeah, fuck the system. I'm going to think for myself. By the way, this is what I think. By the way, I have the courage to shift culture and I physically refuse. I reject conformity. I reject mediocrity. And what happened to Socrates when he thought for himself, when he was a maverick? They locked him up. They tried him and then they poisoned him. So anybody who tells you you've just got to explore your limiting beliefs, it's incomplete. It doesn't work. Why? Because the times you were demonized in the past for the very thing you are required to do this lifetime again are stored in the cells of your body, telling you it's literally not safe to be epic. It's literally not safe to be successful. It's literally not safe to be openly magical. Why? Because you actually were harmed for it before. This is why breath work matters, why it changes lives, why it keeps changing my life. It's deeply important, and it's something that most people will never understand. This is why you've got to have mentors. This is why you've got to be in rooms of other people actually doing it. No more allowing people around you who talk about things and never do them. Okay. My like tolerance for that has gone way, way, way down because of the intensity of the time. And I just don't have space for that in my life. It's like people are either doing this or they're not. And like, it's fine if you don't want to. Like, most people won't. That's what makes this rare and amazing and wonderful and special. But those people do not get to be in my inner circle. Those people do not get to know the true intimate corners of my soul and my dreams. Um, there's there is a moat around this castle. Okay, so you've got to be around people who are actually thought leaders. Otherwise, you're going to feel insane all the time. Otherwise, you're going to dilute your message. You're going to tiptoe here and tiptoe there. Why? Because you're scared of being locked up again, and that shit is real. Don't let anybody tell you it's not real. Okay? I literally went to proof yesterday, Socrates prison. The guy that everybody quotes now, yeah, he was demonized and murdered for being epic. So, when I say spiritual Olympics, this is what I mean. Energetic Jedi, man. It's a lot to hold and navigate and powerfully move with these energies to manifest right now in a world that is noisy with darkness and lies. Okay, next idea. Some people are mavericks and some people are shattering the system from within. So I went to urgent care here in Athens because I have an ear infection from the sea. And um, this doctor uses medical astrology. He's psychic. I walked in and we just started talking. I brought up breath work, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, first of all, he's like, well, you're not a typical American. And he was like, if I call you a witch, is that offensive? And I said, no, like some people resonate with that word, some people don't. I was like, I'm magical folk. That's what I am. I'm a shaman, I'm a healer. And he was like, yeah, I could feel your energy when you walked in. And so this guy, we got to talking, and it's like, he's breaking the matrix from the inside. Okay. There's a whole thing going on right now where it's like entrepreneurship is the only way. It's like entrepreneurship is not for everyone. Okay, first of all, it's hard and you've got to have a rock solid like it's got to feel like life or death in your soul to be an entrepreneur. You're like, this is what I meant to do. I physically cannot do anything else because it will be hard and you will be challenged. Now, there are people that are meant to be mavericks like me. I'm a maverick. I operate outside the system. I build my own worlds. I build my own company. I channel wealth on my own terms. And then there are those of you that are like undercover ninjas changing the matrix from the inside. Again, some of my highest proximity clients are C-level executives at really big global companies that shift culture. Like they're shifting the world, but from the inside of the system. You know what I'm saying? So neither one is right or wrong. They're both holy destiny. You've got to figure out which one is true for you and leverage it. Okay? Okay. Remember, the Olympics are games. Remember, it's a game. Remember, it's a game. What about play? What about fun? What about joy? Okay. Neutralize to self-actualize. What do I mean by that? When you remember it's a game and you remember this is all hologram, this is all an illusion, and you get to literally just choose whatever movie you want by the way you think, by the way you move, by the way you make choices and decisions, and the consistent state of your nervous system, what you feel safe creating, receiving, holding, that's when you can win and you live your miracle. Okay. When you forget it's a game and you get all serious and you get all like, oh my God, like everything is horrible and you succumb to the lies of the Matrix, um, then you lose. Then you're not an Olympian. Then you become a peasant in the stands, just watching. And some people might not like the word peasant. It came through. I'm just tapped so much into the ancient codes right now that it came through. But like, you're here to be spiritual royalty. You are spiritual royalty. Okay? If you're listening to this podcast and I said that and you heard it, it means you are spiritual royalty. The question is, are you allowing yourself to live that way? Are you holding yourself to that standard? Are you allowing mediocrity to touch you, access your soul? Which to me, that's spiritual negligence. Okay, that's not Olympian. That's someone in the stands. Okay, next idea. Surprise people, be unexpected, and watch the grid pop back your way. How can you surprise people? How can you delight people? How can you surprise yourself? How can you do something different? Okay, it's like shake that shit up, man. Try a new strategy. This is the Olympics. If you're going to live a miracle, which is an unexpected magical event, you've got to be the unexpected magical event. How can you be unexpected? How can you surprise life? Surprise life, and then life will surprise you. Expect magic. Magic will be delivered. Like, this is all an energetic frequency and game that you've got to play. Spiritual Olympics. Okay, the next idea. It's a revelation of character, potential, and prosperity. Again, divine royalty, I wrote. That's possible right now. You living truly as a royal is possible right now when you enter the Olympics and you win and you live your miracle. Living your miracle is how you know you win. Okay. And living a miracle is not a one-time thing. It's like I'm a living, breathing, grounding place for miracles, and I allow miracles to multiply through my mind, body, and soul with Creator at the helm. That's what this is. That's what New Earth is. Okay. You can reveal your full potential now in this energy. You can unlock mind-bending prosperity of all forms of relationships, of love, of money, of impact, of time, of connection, of fulfillment, of joy. Like all of it's possible in this energy right now when you enter the Olympics. So the question is, are you going to be a peasant in the stand, or are you going to be a god or goddess playing the games? I hope you play the game, baby. Okay. Next idea. Play, joy, and presence are the highest frequency. You've got to keep your frequency high. It's not about spiritual bypassing. It's about emotional alchemy. It's about emotional mastery. And it's about knowing that your frequency literally determines everything in spiritual energetics, in the spiritual Olympics, and making miracles on repeat. If you don't have a high frequencies will not meet you. Stop manifesting and be manifested. If you just be joyful and you play and you're fully present, you will manifest crazy things. Like I keep manifesting the crazy things, like things I could have never even planned. It just like, and even like small things like a free coffee, or like someone just like letting me into this luxury gym that I found just because I'm a kind, playful, joyful person. And I like ask people about their life and I look at them in the eye instead of looking at my phone. It's like it's a high frequency. You've got to maintain that energetically for the spiritual Olympics. That's like the bare minimum, okay? And here's the thing, if you're numbing your pain, you're numbing your joy. Anywhere you numb every part of life. Cannot be for you to live your miracle. Okay, the last thing is you've got to trust the unseen more than what you see with your eyes. Do you actually trust the unseen? Like a question that keeps coming up for me is like, do people actually trust God or not? It's being very obvious right now. Like, do you trust God or not? Do you trust Creator or not? Like, do you trust the unseen realms? Do you trust energy? Do you trust miracle? Do you trust magic? Do you trust your intuition? Or are you someone who lives on, this is what I see in my reality, and because of that, I'm taking these actions? Or are you someone who says, I know deep in my soul, I trust the unseen, I trust God, and I go first because of that? And because I go first and because I become it, and because I know this is all an illusion and a hologram, and I know the mechanics of what a quantum leap is scientifically and an energetic level, then you can make pure magic every single day, all day. This is what's required. You've got to trust the unseen more than what you see. It's massive. The final thing I want to share is the Einstein quote about miracles. Einstein was a scientist. He basically discovered the formulas for magic, like way after, obviously we see all these energetics happening, and then the human brain and science is like, oh, how does it work? And then you find a formula for it, but it's like, what came first, the formula or the magic? Obviously the magic, okay? People have forgotten that. You're looking for the formula. What came first? The magic. If there was no magic, you wouldn't even be looking for the formula. You know what I'm saying? Einstein said there's only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle, and the other is as though everything is a miracle. And so for you to enter the spiritual Olympics and live your miracle, you've got to decide right here, right now, literally everything in my life is a miracle. There are no coincidences. I can't speak. I'm too excited. There are no coincidences. Everything is a synchronicity. Everything is divine orchestration. I'm like looking out my window. I had just the amount of souls that I've met, that I've created miraculous moments with, is blowing my soul open. I want you to live like this too. You must live like this too. And it's because I decide every single day, I'm like, today is a day of miracles. Because I decided, because I chose it, because this is what we're doing. And so you're either deciding that, like, you're either team logic, aka darkness, or you're team miracles, aka light. There's no in between. So it's time for you to enter the spiritual Olympics and live your miracle. I could not be more grateful and excited to be alive on the globe at this time. To be stewarding this work. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. If you feel inspired to go deeper, come to the Mount Shasta retreat, apply for one-on-one mentorship. The links are in the show notes for that. You can always start an angel air. I don't know how long the doors are going to be open to new members for that. I'm really restructuring my business a lot based on a lot of the guidance I'm receiving on these ancient lands. So Mount Shasta, limited spots, they're filling up. Get your booty in. Apply now. September fall equinox in Mount Shasta, California. And then one-on-one premium mentorship, one spot. Apply if it's for you, and I will be in touch. Go out there, be the change, be the light. Get your booty in the spiritual Olympics, Greece, Athens, New Earth style, and live your miracle, because you need the miracle and the world needs you as the miracle. And when we all make miracles, we have a miraculous world, and that's New Earth. Be the change, be the light, be the reason a stranger smiles. And I will see you next time on A Better World with Adrienne.